Hi, humans. I'm excited to be on live today, even though I don't know how this is gonna all pan out because my doggy is crying. King is crying. He scratched his own eye, and I've been actually trying to make content all day. And every time I film, he's like whimpering in the back. So send Mr. King a big love and send him healing energy. If anybody is a Reiki healer, send Mr. King, this beautiful Zen master, my little soulmate, some healing energy so that his eye can heal. So we're just gonna wing it, and we're gonna talk a little bit about investing. I'm actually going to bring on a student. Her name is Ludovica, so I'm super excited to have her on. She's one of our students that actually just graduated from Unleash and Unveil Your Soul Business and invested into the mastermind. And when I was thinking about doing this training, I was like, okay, I want to give you guys an experience and an actual testimony of this, because it's one thing just me sharing the stuff that I've learned, and it's something else when you see somebody else who actually has taken those big steps. So hi Ludovica, I see that you're here. Go ahead and send me the request. And a few things that I want you guys to keep in mind when investing. Here are three things. Number one, when people think about investing, they think about money. Let's alchemize this. It's not about, I don't have the money. I want you to think about, do you have the time and do you have the energy? Because in my book, let's just make sure that she gets on, and then we will convene. Ludovica, I just added you, so hopefully, yeah, there we go. Amazing. Hi. Okay, so let me just finish this point, and then we're just gonna go right into it. Looks like I'm naked. Wait, it looks like I'm naked. This is cute. Okay, so I want you guys to think about investing in this way. Number one, it is your energy. Number two, it is your time. And number three, I want you to put money at the bottom of the barrel. I want us to switch it. I think oftentimes when we think about investing, we automatically go to, well, I don't know if I have the money for that. Well, just because you invest in a course or in a coach, that doesn't mean that you're going to get the result that you want. Have you poured enough energy into your mindset, and have you poured enough time into your craft? Because if you do that, that's what's actually going to 10x your results. Stop going to the money. And this is why a lot of people have made investments and then they feel like, I haven't made a return on my investment. Well, maybe you actually invested the wrong currency. Maybe it wasn't money that you needed to be investing in, and you needed to cultivate more of the mindset. So, anyways, hi Ludovica, how are you?
Hi, love. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and about your work, and then we're going to get into it. We're going to talk a little bit about investing. I feel like you were such a perfect example, seeing you just, yeah, launch your first program. Now you're freaking having people already pre-enrolled into the next cohort, and that's just something that we want to constantly be sharing with our audience in real time.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, hey, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Ludovica, Sustainably Lou, and I am a somatic healing movement coach, as well as the creator of in the creator of the our intuitive fitness coaching program, which is a program that brings together fitness and mindfulness. I started working with Melissa with Unleash and Unveil, the previous cohort, and I am now enrolled in the mastermind. And I have been truly enjoying this process of working with Melissa, and my business has been scaling since I invested. Um, Not only my currency, but also, well, my energy, which is a currency, as you were saying. And, I continued investing in myself, and I truly saw my business scaling up as well.
Yeah. And your mindset too. You're a completely different person than the person that I spoke to the first time. I'll never forget. Can I say you were a little scared? And maybe
Mm-hmm.
and maybe we should talk about that, right? Like it's freaking scary to invest in yourself. I'll share a little bit about me, and I would love to know your experience. Like, what were the things that helped you get over that hump? But I know for me, it wasn't necessarily the money. Of course, investing any type of money is scary, right? Because you're like, oh my God, am I wasting this? Like, should I do this? But for me, it was so weird. It was all about, am I sure that I'm that person? Like, if I make this investment, I'm literally telling the universe that I see myself as a CEO, or that I see myself as the person that can be in a mastermind. And so for me, it was more about the energy. Like, and when I tapped into that, I was like, yes, I am. And also, I'm afraid. And yes, I may fail. But to me, failure actually meant not trying. So, what were some of the things for
Mm.
you that helped you kind of get over that hump? And were you afraid of investing in yourself too?
Yes, absolutely. I can relate to everything you're saying. I was definitely scared of investing in myself. And throughout this process, I've actually learned that um, actually, like when we're feeling that resistance, there is information in there. And this can be applied to anything else in life. So I really like sat with that resistance, and it really came down to not truly believing that I could actually do it, be that quantum version of myself who is working on her business and being successful in her business. So at the core, there was a belief that I was not worthy of investing in the program. And, I truly tapped into this by practicing meditation and all of the things that I also use in my own programs.
Yeah.
I hope the sirens in the back are not too
Oh,
loud
it's
for you
okay.
guys.
King is whispering
Um,
a little bit in the back, and then you got sirens, so it's okay. We have a backdrop.
yes, we have a backdrop, city life, but it was truly by sitting with myself and like recognizing the feeling at first, which you help us do as
Yeah.
well, and using all of the tools that I also use in my program in order to actually like clear that fear and recognizing it in the first place. So through like EFT tapping and somatic movement, breath work, I was able to really get at the core. And then I have to make the decision, okay, do I want to live within this scarcity mindset, or do I want to actually like take the leap? And I took the leap.
I love that you said the scarcity mindset. I've recorded a whole podcast on the poverty consciousness, and I've actually done a lot of talks
Mm-hmm.
around it. And I titled this chat the mindset of a millionaire. Not only number one, you want to really get clear on the type of currency that you're investing. Remember, I said time, energy, money, okay? Time and energy are freaking free, okay? So when you do something in the right energy, and maybe Ludovica, you can speak to this, you're going to actually get to that result 10 times faster. I don't care if you have a freaking $1,000,000. Lean in. I'm gonna like tap on your head. I don't care if you have $1,000,000 to invest. If you are investing and putting and building a business out of scarcity, it will fail. So this just goes to show you that money is not as important as you are making it out to mean. Your energy frequency, you can have zero in the bank, and that energy frequency in the right vibration, meaning thinking the right thoughts, taking care of your body, and figuring out your mindset, that's actually going to help you get to your result faster. Let's go to time. Who got time here? Oh, I have money. You know how many people I've seen invest in a course, they never show up and they're like, I didn't get the results. How do you get results for the time you didn't put in? So you see what I'm saying? This is why I want to push money down, because I think a lot of the poverty consciousness that shows up in a lot of, not even our community, let's just say worldwide, is that people go to, I don't have the money. I don't have the money. What do you mean? Do you have the time? Do you have the energy? Can you find a free class? You know, before I ever had money to invest in myself, I was in New York City taking buses and trains to a free yoga class. Thank you for the people. You know, or going to Bryant Park doing a meditation free. So don't make that as the excuse, because it's rarely the thing. It's not the money that's actually stopping you, because you smart. You smart. You know
Mm-hmm.
how to ask your titi and your friends and put shit on offer up. And I don't know how you be going to Jamaica and all the vacations that you go to, okay? So this is about prioritizing what is actually important. When you prioritize your body, your health, your mindset over a bottle to drink or to going out on the weekends. And I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying when you start working on yourself, like it is the last thing that you have to do on earth because it is the priority. That's when your life will change. And for me, that became the priority. I have to get well. I have to change my mind. I have to change my body. I have to change the way I'm eating. I have to change my friends. I have to change my environment. That people don't talk about not only the growth mindset, but what did you have to destroy along the way? What did you have to let go? That's the sad part. Relationships dismantling. Sometimes you have to uproot and go somewhere else because even the energy grid and where you are needs to change. It's not easy to grow. It's not easy to invest in yourself because there's such a big part of us that wants the comfort. Tap into that. And that's what's going to actually help you grow. Talk to us a little bit about you launching your first group coaching because I remember it was right around my birthday and you were like, I'm gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. No, actually that's not true. You never said you were not gonna do it, but you pushed the date
Correct.
and there was some fear coming up. What ultimately went you from like not having a program to getting and launching the program to now getting into the mastermind and also having two people pre-enrolled without even launching, which by the way, that's incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so really, it was a huge mindset shift. So we started Unleashing Unveil in October, if I'm remembering correctly, or end of September. And I already knew, like going into this, okay, a lot of things need to change, as you said. And so I reorganized all of my priorities, and then I knew for at least a year that I wanted to launch this program. I had not done that because I was getting into my mind about I need the right strategy, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
And,
I know. We always think it's the
you
strategy,
know,
and then I tell you, is number one is your energy.
exactly.
Yeah.
And really it was a mix of internal work and coming to the modules and the live classes, and also getting not only your feedback in the
Yeah.
program but also the community feedback. I truly believe that group programs are wonderful because you really get to connect with other people who are, yes, they have different businesses or they might be having just different experiences, but at the end of the day, it just became a beautiful environment for collective growth. And so I think that, yes, you need to be willing to make the efforts in your own world, but also leaning in on the community that you're a part of. And Unleashing Unveil was truly nourishing for me, like getting feedback from the other
Yeah.
people and also getting inspired by others and what they were doing. And so yeah, I did end up pushing the day, but I knew that I wanted to. And even in that, like you showed me, I know I had a conversation with you about it, like it's okay because at the end of the day, I need to be aligned with that decision in order to make the program successful, if that makes sense. So pushing yourself to do something that is not in alignment, at the end of the day that energy will translate into the results of whatever that thing is, and in that case was the program. And so just even allowing yourself to be yourself, yes, in the process of creation, because I think I had a little bit of a mindset of there is this standard that I need to follow in order to create the perfect offer. And yes, sure, there is a strategy component, but also being mindful that this is your beautiful process, and you really need to rise up as a leader, right? It's so the mindset shift was huge because I was getting into all of the little details of all of the perfectionist in me was trying to tell me that it didn't it needed to
It
be a
looked good.
different way.
Yeah, it needed to be perfect. Meanwhile, I just want to
Exactly.
add that Ludovica did this, and she'll share whatever she feels comfortable with, as she was in a huge transition too, right? Like it wasn't easy, and she's working full time. Okay, so we're my
Mm-hmm.
9 to 5ers, where you're like, I can't do this. I have a full time job, Melissa. Listen. You could do it. Or my moms, or the ones that are expecting, or the ones that are getting
Mm-hmm.
divorced, or the ones that are leaving a relationship like, baby girl. I
Yeah.
get it. And sometimes to me, honestly, like I have not drank alcohol in like 8 years. I think 9 years is gonna be. I lost count. I used to count to like seven and then I forgot how long. But my God, thank God I channeled all that energy into building things.
Mm-hmm.
First building myself, then building the energy. This is why when a lot of people ask me, like, was it hard to build the business? I'm not gonna lie. I'm hard. Me, the human, my mind is hard. The business is pretty transactional. You put content out there, you talk to people. What's hard is, oh my God, are they gonna like it? Did I say this okay? Are they gonna get in? That's what's hard. Is your brain, okay? Your brain is what's hard. Humans are difficult because by nature we second guess ourselves. There's confidence, there's mastery, there's a bunch of things that come up. But when you allow that to be okay and you still show up and you do what Ludovica is talking about, which by the way, I just want to pause and like just like speak into the energy of me yeah, like being really hyped up, and Ludovica's like just calm. Like you're like literally the eye of the storm. It's something that I've always loved about you. And if you haven't checked out her work, please go check out her work. She does a lot of somatic movement, really intuitively listening to our body. It's so beautiful. It's so cute. We're so proud of her. And it shows in the way that you even communicate, right? Like me, I'm over here trying to get people hyped up. I'm like, you could do it. You could do anything. And I think that is why a lot of people invest in me. They're like, this girl, she's giving me energy. She really believes in me. And I really do though. I really do. People that they're like, oh, I believe in you. No, I believe in you because I know what you're capable of. Because what you're capable of is the same thing I'm capable of, because you're no different than me. And from a universal lens, when you start to realize that nobody got nothing on you, even if they have a better education, even if they grew up in a wealthier zip code, you have your energy and you have your time. You can put more time and literally get further than somebody else that has more resources than you. You can tap into the quantum field and do what you just did. Tap into the resistance. You can alchemize that resistance and now make that energy work for you. When you start realizing that nobody got anything on you, but we must shift out of this poverty consciousness of, oh, I'm not going to have enough. That is so scarce. And I get it. I'm Latina. I grew up with two immigrant parents that literally, my dad, like, fought to get to this country when he was 17 from Cuba. And my mom came here as a teenager from Ecuador, being the oldest of 8 kids. Like, trust me, I get it. I'm no stranger to struggle and having parents that were scarce around money, were scarce around time, were scarce around resources, because they truly didn't have it. They didn't even speak the language coming to this country. They actually still don't. And so I got passed down that mindset. But now as an adult, it's up to you. Like healing is up to you now. Shifting out of that poverty consciousness into abundance, which means you're out of the survival of the resources. When you look around, ask yourself, am I actually in survival? Like, do I need to go to a pantry? Do I need to go to a homeless shelter? If so, then okay, that's valid. But honestly, I had a student actually show up in a shelter and still build a business. So when I tell you that I attract the most resilient people that think they can build and do anything from anywhere in any circumstances, because I see miracles happening all of the time, it's rare for me to be like, oh my God, you can't do this because of what? I had a girl have brain surgery, literally split her head from here to here, brain surgery. She paused the program, came back, and opened up her salon. Didn't let her stop her. The resilience that human beings have, and you have to believe in that. That's what actually starts to create the results, not the perfect investment. There is no perfect investment. You know what's the perfect investment? When you believe in yourself. Right? When you start to believe
Absolutely.
in yourself.
Yeah, that's a whole shift.
Yeah, I have
That
a question
that's
for you.
yes, go ahead.
How was your relationship with money? Now that, because we're talking about money, and then I want you to squeeze in, right? But I think this is a good opportunity to talk about, like, what was your relationship with money and abundance, and how has it evolved just working with me and inside of the program and now inside of the mastermind? Somebody said, can you share your IG, Ludovica? Oh my God, yes, we will share her IG, and I'm gonna post this on my feed, and I'll add you as a collaborator, Ludovica. So just accept it so that everybody that's watching the replay, more people will watch the replay. They can go ahead and find you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Melissa. And it's sustainably low.
Yes.
Anyway, well, I would say that the shift around money was probably one of the biggest one, to be honest. And it really feeds into everything that we've been talking about until now, because I truly realized I came face to face, and of course, we have more sirens. I
Yeah. The,
apologize,
si- the,
Ariana,
the
but
sirens are
it's like
co-signing it.
confirmation. It's like yes, I see it as confirmation.
Yeah.
But it is I really had to come to terms with the fact that I had a scarcity mindset, first of all. So the money mindset came about, like the shift came about first with realization of where I was at, and then the choice of making taking actually a quantum leap, and then the strategy came, as well as the abundance, the return of on the investment, which was very interesting to witness. So I truly thank you thanks to your coaching, Melissa, and the support of the beautiful community in Alicia and Unveil. I was truly able to see, okay, well, this is where I'm at. This is where I want to be. I took all of the steps in order to actually make that choice. And sometimes I think it's important to really realize that if in your heart, in your intuition, it feels right, the investment feels right, but then you realize that there is fear, the intuition will always be right. Fear and intuitions are two different things, and I know that people sometimes mix them up.
Yeah.
But the intuition is just like an inner knowing, just quick.
Yep.
The fear, you usually feel it like in your gut, like when people say like, oh, like I'm feeling like and yes, and it goes into the head with the spinning and all of that. So I'm happy to say that I went from a scarcity mindset to an abundant mindset. And of course, like everything that we're always healing is a process. So I think that it's important to recognize that there's always like maintenance work to do, because I don't believe that we're always fully healed. I think that it is important to recognize that once you acquire the skills to like heal a particular thing, you need to keep on putting in the work, and it will become normal.
Yep.
It will become like routine.
Yep.
So I have my mantras, my affirmations around money that I put in place. And this is also something that I teach in my program. We talk all about mantras and how they work. I use my EFT, which is also part of the program, that I combine with the mantras in order to get me out of a funk if I'm ever in a funk around that. And I realize that once I get out of the funk, I actually attract more clients
I know.
and
This
soul
actually,
clients
this
too.
actually happened last week. No, I think it was last week.
Exactly a week ago. Yes, exactly a week ago.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, I'll let you share the story, but I feel like, yeah, Ludovica was she came to the community call inside of the mastermind, and I think you shared, you were like, guys, I'm feeling some kind of way,
Yeah.
like, there's just stuff there, which, by the way, like, that is so normal to have emotional intelligence over what is happening in your body. To me, you're 99% there. Like when you can understand that there's something coming up, you don't need to know exactly what, but when you understand that there's something there, and then you can redirect your awareness to it without judging yourself and without shaming yourself, you really start to shift the energy. So these are the conversations that we naturally have inside of the mastermind. It's always like, okay, what's coming up? What's going on? What do you feel? What are your, the things that you want to create? And then, she did her own work. And then I think I spoke to her an hour later. She's like, I signed the client. I signed the client for my high ticket one-on-one. And I'm like, yes, you see what I'm saying? And yet those are the moments that most people will crumble. That's the moment where people are like, I suck because I still think X, Y, Z. No, you're on a healing journey. No, you're building a business. And I actually reflected this back to Ludovica. I'm like, you just launched your very first program in November. You just did that. And then you go on and you sign on a high ticket one-on-one client. And then you go on and you sign 2 people to the next cohort of something that you haven't even launched. That is success. And that's the shift in perspective that we constantly do inside of Unleash and Unveil Your Soul business. It's getting you to understand you are here, you want to go here, just like Ludovica was saying. And then I would add on what's in between that's preventing you from getting there. So if I'm here and I want to go over there, what are my thoughts? What am I thinking about constantly that's putting up a wall between where I am now and where I want to be? Because you are in full control of that. It's not another strategy. It's usually a shift in your mindset. Needs to be a shift in perspective that will actually allow the opening and the blessing to come in. I'll just share one little thing because I think this is so important. A lot of times people think, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Think about it like this. Everybody has a little vortex. When I say vortex, think about a bubble around you, okay? And in that bubble, there's everything that you've ever wanted. There's the love, there's the money, there's the career, everything, anything and everything you've ever wanted, it's in that bubble. It's in that vortex. And wherever you go, that vortex is there, okay? Because the vortex is created through the mind. You have everything you've ever wanted. And now this vortex, this energy field is trying to get into you, right? Like it's trying to land within your body, but the mindset on what you think about is the only thing that's preventing it from coming in. So you don't have to create abundance. You have to let it in. You don't have to create love. You have to let it in. Everything that you want is already created. And when you start to think about life like that, honestly, you stop working so fucking hard. You stop working so hard,
Yes, 100%.
So
yeah.
I think we're going to get to the end here. I have one more question and then anything that you wanted to add. If there was any aha moment that you had during the program or something really, really clicked. By the way, if you have any questions for us, those that are tapping in, you can drop it into the chat and I'll go ahead and answer 1 or 2 of them. So part 1 is, was there an aha moment where it finally kind of clicked for you and things started happening? And a follow-up question to that can be the same answer is, how did you sign 2 clients before even launching? Like, I think people are trying to sign on 1 client while they're launching. How were you able to sell out your cohort, also be super excited to be coaching it, and then still have time, room, and space to bring in 2 people? So aha, and how did you sign 2 clients?
I will say that I had many aha moments, but the one that is coming to mind right now that I think is relevant for this conversation is when we were having a chat, you and I was telling you about, I wasn't seeing like an immediate return in terms of like signups, and you reflected to me, well, but like see that what others are mirroring back at you is actually what you're doing, because at the time I was having so many blockages. Again, going back to the healing journey, it will always be up and down. As one of my teachers says, it's like going up a mountain, right? Sometimes you go up, sometimes you go down, but you're always, at the end of the day, always going towards the top. And because I was having so many blockages, I saw that actually the people that I was having conversation with we're also having money blockages. And that was a haha moment, because when you told me, you see that that's kind of the same energy that is happening here, I was like, it is. They're like my clones. And so I took the steps to unlock and clear my own money blockages and my scarcity mindset, clear that through like tapping, somatic movement, and all of you, and your leadership and your coaching, and actually showing up to the calls and doing all of the work. And guess what? The people actually signed up. Those people that were having the same money blockages that I was having.
So what we're saying is that when we change the inside, the outside changes. Is that what we're saying?
That's what we're
Everything
saying.
is really a mirror and a hollow projection of what's happening within us. And I'll give credit to the Hermetic principles, as above, so below, and vice versa, right? Which the more and more I get into the quantum field, the more and more I realize that, man, it's crazy. We are really living in a simulated reality. Like, truly, humans, do you know how powerful you are? We walk around so fucking disempowered, like, oh my God, the government's doing this to me and this person's doing that. But you have the power to change your thoughts. Do you understand that nobody can jump into your body and think your thoughts for you? The only thing that can do that is programming. That's why, like, for me right now, what I have on TV, I have binaural beats. This is God frequency. This is what I listen to. Why? Because this is what's programming me to always think, yes, positive. There's nothing wrong with that. People get so mad. Everything don't gotta be positive. Okay, so you want it to be negative? I mean, I'm not telling you to not feel your feelings. Feel your feelings, because just like Ludovica said, this is a gateway. Pain is a portal. Your emotions are gateways. They're just redirecting you to feel what's coming up, because it wants to be felt. It wants to be alchemized. That energy wants to be moved. And once you move it, boom, you clear your highway. This is your cosmic highway, right? But when you're blocked, things get stuck, your blessings get stuck, your emotions get stuck. So it's always about clearing, and yes, feeling into your energy, but nothing can control you. When you learn to be a sovereign being, for me, that means you have mind mastery. That means you're taking control over your food. You're understanding what food, what energy to put into your body. You're understanding how to move your body, because you know that that's what's actually shifting and moving the energy. That is what, for me, I want to be bringing to our students, is sustainability in your business, so you're not burning out. And two, for you to be creating businesses that you freaking love. And three, to understand quantum physics within your business, so that you can achieve that millionaire mindset, so that you can shift your perspective. These are all the things that we're not taught. We're not taught this in school, so we don't know. And so we are easily like, people can program us if you don't know, if you're just walking around like little ants. Anyways, I'll stop my rant, but that's what I think about that.
Yes, no, I absolutely relate to everything you said. And as you were asking, okay, so how did you sign like your clients, that's literally like, it's connected to the haha moment. And also I want to add that something else that shifted was that I actually put my mind towards, I just want to attract my FES clients. I want to attract the people who want to do the work. And that helped me to also let go of perhaps like the people that were still in my energetic field, that were like a maybe. And obviously we have compassion for them and sending them love. And I have lots of free resources in my profile that, I direct them to. And, there's always like room for growth in the future, of course. But I was able to sign 2 people even without launching my next cohort, which by the way will start in March. By having those conversations, having just like real conversations with people and supporting them, and actually like helping them see that what was stopping them was like fear. But we were able to like clear that and have like a clear conversation about like their goals and really the quantum people that they wanted to be. And those who really wanted to take the step took the step. And I do believe that that truly happened. I mean, I do believe I saw it happening.
Yeah.
Literally, when I started shifting my mindset around, I don't want to attract everyone. I want to attract those that are meant to work with me.
And that are ready.
Exactly, because that is also like an abundant mindset. The scarcity mindset is I want to attract as many people as possible. Anyone. Where are you guys?
Yeah, and you would never do that in love, right? Like you would never be like, I want to attract anybody. No, what do you mean? Do you want to attract somebody who's a good fit for you? Do you want to attract somebody with emotional intelligence? Like actually notice that the more you date, the more you get clear, right? Like think about the first person you dated to now, right? Like you had no expectations. You're like, yeah, anybody. And then you're like, wait, no. I don't like the way you treated me. I don't like to be spoken like that, right? So you start to refine the pool of even your match. Well, it's the same thing with your soulmate client. You don't just want anybody, you want the right person. And I always tell my students that I like a willing client rather than a ready client. So willing to me means you're willing to get your hands dirty. You're willing to fall flat in your face. You're willing to do the work. You're willing. Do you need to be ready? Of course, there is a level of readiness, but sometimes that also comes with attachment. And you know that student that just shows up and they're like, I'm ready. Give me all the things. Give me the strategy. And you're like, they're so attached. They're attached to a result, right? But the person that's willing, they have an openness to them. And there's something about that openness that actually allows those miracles to actually happen, because miracles are not in the logic. Miracles are in your energy. They're in the quantum field. So it's when you allow yourself to play. And I always, if anybody here is like, okay, give me an example on how I can do this, play the what if game with yourself. Instead of, what if everything fails? Oh, what if that's the one thing that I do that actually gets me in shape? What if that's the one investment that I make that makes me a millionaire? What if I just put myself out there and I meet somebody amazing? What if I just meet my soulmate? What if? But on the positive side, most of us go, what if, to the negative side. What if I fail? What if I lose my money? What if I go bankrupt? Stop doing that. Why would you do that? Like, just think about how crazily programmed we are that we automatically go to the far end of the spectrum instead of going the other way. So whatever it is that you're thinking negative, go the other way. So yes, sometimes that looks like you're thinking positive. Sometimes, and a lot of times, that looks like shifting your perspective so that you see the silver lining in everything. Look, poverty consciousness and somebody who's broken, they're going to say, they're going to look at all the problems. I can't do this because XYZ. I can't do this because I have 1,000 followers. Curious to know how many followers you have if you want to share it with the group.
I have almost 2,000 followers. So I'm not like a big influencer or anything like that.
It did not stop her from selling out her offer, did not stop her from enrolling 2 other people, did not stop her from getting a high ticket client all the way halfway around the world in Japan somewhere, right? It's not about how many people follow you. In fact, you have to stop that. Every time you want people to see you, right? You want to attract somebody and you want to show them all the things that you got, you actually repel them. Every time you want to show people that you have 10K or that you're trying to make yourself an authority, that girl doesn't even, they don't even need to say, I'm that girl. Their presence tells you, oh, that's that bitch. That they don't care about how many followers they got. They are solid in their mastery. That's what actually matters. And that's what I really love about you, Ludovica, that I always mirror back to you. I'm like, babe, you're an authority. Like, just look at her content and you'll be able to tell, like, she really is about her business. She's really getting people these results. You can tell in her content and the way she shows up in her own life. Because rule number 1, baby girl, you need to be a testimony to your own life first before you can teach anybody anything. And I'm so fortunate that those are the people that walk through Unleash and Unveil Your Soul Business. The community is 10 out of 10. Chef's kiss. When I tell you, you will gain best friends. You will gain people that will clap it up for you, will freaking share your stuff. There is no competition because it's just something that I don't entertain within the containers. There's so much love and you feel it. And to be in an environment where you feel like other people give a shit just as much as you, I can't tell you, is priceless. Because I don't want to say your regular friends. I'm just going to use this in quotation marks because I have friends in every different group. I have my friends that I've been friends with since 13. I don't talk to them about investing because they don't, first of all, they don't care, and they're not going to give me any good advice. They're like, what are we doing for dinner? Like, where are we going now? What's the hot spot we're going to in Miami? Like, we have different conversations. But when you find a group that has that same mindset around investing, around bigger goals, that is what's going to help elevate you, because that's truly what you need. You know, a mentor of mine told me one day, I told them all of my goals that I wanted to build for Unleash and Unveil, the brand. And he said to me, this is simple. You can get to this goal. Meanwhile, I was still working as a yoga teacher, making $50 per class. And he said to me, you just have to do one thing. I was like, what? I want to do whatever it takes to build this brand. Like, I have it so clearly in my mind that I want to teach people how to build a soulful, spiritual, like very heart connected brand. Like, I want people to feel good about business. Like, I want people to join my programs and cry, not because they're giving me something, but because they're giving themselves something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that when you invest, you're not doing anything for me? Well, I actually take that back. I do have a lot of joy in coaching you, and in coaching you, I feel more like myself, but you're doing this for you because it's your dream and it's your
Mm-hmm.
desire. And again, I think that's how we alchemize this shift in perspective around investing. I don't want to lose my money. I don't want to give that person my money. What do you mean? When you fall in love, do you ever do that? Do you ever say, I don't want to give them my heart? No, you're like, yeah, I want to give myself. I want to allow myself to experience this. Everything is a co-creation. And that's how we start to shift the paradigm and the conversation around investing. It's not our fault that this is not taught to us in school.
Mm-hmm.
This is why the internet is so beautiful. And I'm so proud of all of these students that come into these programs, and they're learning to be money sovereign. They're learning that, you know what? If you don't want to work for that job one day, you're there. But if you don't have to, because you have a God-given talent that you can go out and build that business. And to me, that is safetyness. It's not working for somebody else. The minute you do something wrong, they're like, see ya. Or you don't act the way they want you to act, and they're like, peace out. That's awful. Who would want a relationship like that? Imagine if you were in a relationship where you were at the edge of your seat and you were like, oh my God, they're going to constantly break up with me. That's a toxic relationship, right? And some of us are in toxic relationships with our jobs. Anyways, this was so beautiful. Ludovica, can you let people know where to find you, where to follow you? Let them know a little bit about your program. I know that's coming up. For those that want to get inside of the next round of Unleash and Unveil Your Soul Business, we have that coming up. It starts, I think, on the 24th, just a few weeks away. I think we're like 2 weeks away. You must apply. I'll talk to you. I'll let you know for a good fit. But Ludovica, go ahead and tell us a little bit on how they can find you too and work with you.
Yes, absolutely. So you can connect to me through Instagram, 𝗨𝗡𝗟𝗗𝗚. I just put my handle in the chat, and Melissa will be reposting this. And through my links, you can find all of my resources, but I would love if you just shoot me a DM if this conversation resonated, if my energy resonated with you, and what I'm teaching resonates with you. I actually do love having genuine conversations with people. And I do believe that that's very important in the work that we're doing, because yes, Melissa teaches business, but she also does it in a way where she literally incorporates spirituality and your connection to source. And that's something that I include myself in my own work. So I am currently offering, well, it hasn't launched yet as we discussed, but I am opening up the second cohort of my group collective program, which is a 6-week program. It's called Somatic Serenity, and it is a program that breaks down all of the foundations of somatic healing and mindfulness so that you can make them part of your own everyday life. And the focus of this program is to support you with truly falling in love with yourself, with your body, despite its changes. And with that, it comes the true connection with your own intuition. So all of the work that we do is breaking down meditation, breath work, somatic movement, EFT tapping, and I also introduced you to my program that I created, the Intuitive Fitness program, which is all about truly falling in love with the way that you move your body so that you don't see it as a chore, but you actually start to see movement as part of your natural routine. And we're unsubscribing from the dark side of the fitness industry that tells you that you need to do this in order to look like that. We're actually clearing that out so that your body can lower the cortisol and achieve the goals that you've been wanting to achieve. And you'll see that maybe your goals change actually once you clear all of that cortisol, that inflammation in your body. Maybe your goals will change. That is actually something that happens quite a lot in this program.
I love
And
that.
I also, and lastly, I just also offer one-on-ones for people who want a more personalized approach. And I am teaching a free class online virtual on February the 18th at 7 p.m. EST. Again, shoot me a DM or you can find it in my stories and pin on my profile. And if you are local to Miami, I also teach in-person classes. So
I wish I was in
connect with
Miami.
me.
I
I
love that.
know.
Okay, I'm gonna just give you your flowers here and then we'll wrap up in 15 seconds. Did that not seem really soulful and like so connected? Don't you want to talk about your business the way Ludovica just shared? I was just over here sitting back, like I can't tell you, like proud mom. I'm like, look at her go. Look at her go. Look at her go. Talk about her program so confidently, like so beautiful. And that has always been the vision. I'm holding my little heart because it's melting. And I'm like, wouldn't it be
I
so
feel that.
beautiful to find a way where you can talk about your business and it really just truly feels like it's sharing in a way that doesn't feel like you're like salesy and trying to pitch yourself. So thank you for being that reflection. You did an amazing, beautiful job at sharing that with you, with us. And for those that want to come inside of Unleash and Unveil Your Soul Business, just drop the word unleash when I hit the replay. See you soon. Bye,
Thank
humans.
you. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.